The Saturday night show was the best experience of my life. And now they're all gone. And I miss every one of them. Why me? Why did I live so long? They're all dead. I'll tell you why. Because I'm a dancer.
Live from a bar over on North Avenue in Austin. But they don't have Too-Ra-Loo-Ra-Too on the jukebox. It's Saturday Night Dive.
Hi, everybody. Zach Pruitt here.
It's Zach Hall across from him.
How you doing, buddy?
Well, I'm okay today. How are you?
I'm doing good. Another week to talk about SNL, something I've been looking forward to all week.
Indeed, indeed.
It's early-ish on a Sunday. It's early for me on a Sunday. Look, it's before noon, and I'm out of bed. What are you staring at me for?
It's Monday.
What did I say?
Sunday.
Did I say Sunday?
You are way off.
In my heart, I did mean Monday. We are brought to you by Four Finger Discount.
Four Finger Discount!
You can find us on social media at
Saturday Night Dive Pod.
And you can email us icebreakers, comments, questions, concerns, hate mail.
Saturday Night Dive. Saturday Night Dive
You
Pod.
are way off base.
Saturday Night Dive Pod at gmail.com.
Crushed it. Another week. How's it been?
It's been a week.
Anything exciting happen, Bug Boy?
I got stung in the face by a yellow jacket.
Yeah, how was that?
It was uncomfortable.
Have you been stung by bees many times in your life?
A handful. I'm usually wary enough to stay away from situations like that.
This may surprise you. I was kind of an inside kid.
Oh, wow. What?
So I wasn't an adult when I got stung by a bee for the first time.
Okay.
And as a kid, I had a pretty strong fear of bees.
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely had a bee up the shorts. I've definitely had a wasp behind the ear.
Ew.
Had the hornet situation before. Like,
Jesus.
you just don't, like, I know the levels, and you just don't want to deal with it.
I'm happy to coexist. You know, there's
Sure.
like a wasps or hornet's nest that's outside my window, and I open my window with the screen door. They're out there buzzing around. They're not trying to get in. They're not bothering me.
So what pissed me off about this is that same day, earlier in the day, I was attempting to take down a hornet's nest the size of a soccer ball from the peak over someone's
large.
front door.
I'm not a soccer player, but it's a pretty big.
It's not a
hornet's
small
nest.
hornet's nest. I was trying to poke a hole in it. I poked the whole thing in half, and it fell right in front of me. And I dropped the pole and ran.
I would too.
Not protocol, but that's what I did.
You saw what was about to happen. Like,
For
they were gonna get your ass.
I was having a tough time. Nobody got me in this situation, and there were hundreds of them. And I got
Pretty
the
quick on
better
your
of
feet.
this nest.
Yeah.
Eventually, with the chemicals that I had available to me, I got the better of this nest. And then later in the day, for a bunch of these punk ass yellow jackets in the ground, they took me down too. They got me on the ground. Stupid.
Because there were tons of them swarming you.
And it happened very fast.
And you only got stung twice?
Yeah, I was mad.
Because they only get one shot. The yellow jacket only gets one shot.
Do not miss
right?
its chance to blow.
Yeah.
That opportunity comes once in a lifetime.
That sucks. How did they got you on the ground? Did you just because
I tripped.
Okay. They didn't like
They surprised me.
they didn't pull you down.
No.
Okay. They didn't have so much massive weight that it took you down to the ground.
Correct.
Saturday Night Live came into my life in some interesting ways this week.
Oh, tell me.
So first of all, I did a show, and one of the teams was the Blues Brothers, and one of the name tags was Elwood, which
love to
was,
see
of
it.
course, Dan Aykroyd.
Yep.
So I got to say, as he came up to the top of the drop, I was like, "This one's for John Belushi," and we dropped for John Belushi,
And it's a good week to do that.
and why? Because of the episode?
Yeah, we're about
Sure.
to talk about it.
It's not his birthday or anything. His birthday is the day before or after mine. And then the other thing, I had a meeting with someone that I might do some content editing for at a coffee shop record store that I really like. And I walk in and they have this little CRT TV, and on VHS, they're playing season 1 of SNL in this place. I walk in and it's the episode where Chevy on the Land of Gorch set using his hands as puppets. You remember it.
I do.
It was the old school Weekend Update set. It's just
I want to say that was
You don't know.
No.
You remember which episode? Because you listened to the podcast more recently.
I do think I know which episode that is, but not. It was the episode. Who had the bathwater sketch?
Bathwater.
It was.
Oh God, we shouldn't ask these questions because it makes us look like idiots.
We are idiots.
Well, it's just because it's 11:30. I should still be in bed right now.
It wasn't Raquel Welch and it wasn't Jill Claybaugh. But it was somebody.
It wasn't Raquel Welch?
No.
Oh, it was the it was the one that did a good job. Does her name start with a D?
Maybe.
Fuck.
Yeah.
It's gonna come to me later.
We did a good job.
It's gonna come to me later, but it's not very often I see season 1 of SNL reference. So to walk into a public space and it's on the television, it just felt like home. It felt like purposeful, like God is at work. Diane Cannon.
Diane Cannon nailed it.
Is that who it is?
Yeah, you just had to let your brain reset.
You were Googling it?
No, I was looking at our podcast.
Do you have an icebreaker?
I do, and it is. It's pretty short.
That's okay.
We're just gonna talk about some iconic pairs that have not lasted, a la Art and then Garfunkel and Paul Simon.
Iconic pairs that have not lasted, like bad breakups.
Some famously bad breakups from iconic pairs, and then
Hall and Oates is a big one.
So let's talk about that. And then we want to also say, are you on the side? Are you more of a Garfunkel? Are you more of a Simon? Are you more of a Hall? Are you more of an Oates? Are you more of a? That's kind of. I just want to do a few of these because we can
Lennon
get lost.
or McCartney.
Yeah, we can get lost in these for a long time.
Dean and Gene Ween.
Weens, okay.
Yeah, Ween is two dudes, and they had very acrimonious split. Then got back together to keep performing, but weren't really buddies anymore. And then now they're not performing again.
Okay.
As far as Simon and Garfunkel go in life, I think I'm more of a Garfunkel.
Okay.
In us,
yeah,
I think I might be the Paul Simon of this podcast.
Okay, well, possibly. I think in life I would be more of a Simon.
I agree
because I like his music better, and
I
could completely do without Garfunkel as a solo guy.
Let's see. Back in the day before we did this podcast, I thought Paul Simon, and I still kind of do, thought he was kind of an asshole, and thought that Garfunkel kind of got the short. I mean, it's like a Ringo situation. Garfunkel's a guy you got to like take care of. He's not one of the greatest songwriters of all time like his partner is, but he is a really talented performer. And if he's going to perform like that, he needs people behind him to give him some quality stuff. So I was always like, man, Paul Simon, why do you have to hate Garfunkel so much? He just likes to smoke pot. Like, chill out on him. But then I watched this episode and I compare it very closely to the Paul Simon special.
Well, yeah, because it's essentially he's quote unquote hosting an episode, and when really he's just the musical guest in disguise with a musical guest himself.
And the difference between the two is staggering.
Yeah.
So in life, I might be more on the side of Garfunkel, but in fandom, I would definitely be a Simon guy for sure.
Well, let's talk about Daryl and John.
I don't know them well enough as individuals to have much of an opinion. I just know that they hate each other.
Yeah.
Do you have anything on that?
I don't know enough about either of them, and I feel like if I claimed like a side of either one, that I'll be like, everyone's like, how could you do that? He did this.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't know. I know the guy's last name's Hall, so I kind of don't have a choice here.
Lennon and McCartney?
Probably McCartney, just because I liked his songs better anyway. Of all the Beatles tracks, when it was a John song, I was more like, okay. But when it was a Paul song, I was like, yeah.
I think Paul is probably a better dude, but there were definitely some times in the 70s when Paul was kind of being a little asshat and John would be like, fuck you, Paul. And it kind of felt warranted.
Okay.
Who else? What was the other one? Dean and Gene Ween.
Wait, I don't know about Ween. I'm
a Gene Ween boy all the way.
That's your
all
gig.
The way. Zach Hall and Zach Pruitt.
Oh, that's a good one. Which
Al Franken and Tom Davis.
Hey, that's a great one. I think Franken for sure.
Mr. Mike and Tina Turner.
No, Tina Turner.
That was a good icebreaker. I like talking about stuff like that.
For sure.
Let's get in the episode.
The episode that originally aired on March 11th, 1978. Also on that night, CBS aired The Bob Newhart Show, The Tony Randall Show, The Jeffersons, Maude, and Kojak. ABC aired What's Happening, Operation Petticoat, The Love Boat, and Fantasy Island. Our home network, NBC, aired The Bionic Woman and the 1975 film Russian Roulette.
Should I tell the people how I entered the space today?
Yeah, why don't you?
Okay, so we're at Game Show Battle Rooms in the green room where we've been recording often lately. And I get here and Zach said the door was unlocked. He's got this running thing lately where he's been tormenting, bullying, and attacking me with Nerf guns.
What?
Can you disagree with that statement?
Live from the Game Show Battle Room Studios.
And so he says the door is unlocked, and I get here, and everything's like kind of dark, and I don't see Zach Hall immediately, and I kind of thought maybe he was in the bathroom or doing something, but I also, because, like I said, he's been relentlessly tormenting, bullying, attacking me with weapons lately, I knew that it was a possibility. And in the green room of Game Show Battle Rooms, there's a lot of open space with tables and chairs, there's some sound paneling on the walls, and there's a lot of black curtains that are hiding things like drinks
Alcohol
and equipment from customers who use this space sometime. And Zach Hall was behind one of these black curtains, probably for...
Curled up on a shelf on the bottom.
That can't have been comfortable because you were not taking up very much space.
I didn't want you to see my feet.
I didn't.
Good.
I wasn't looking for your feet. I never go into any space looking for your feet.
I stand there and you wouldn't notice them, but I didn't want to take the chance, so I curled up on the bottom shelf.
My mind was you were... in a different... Anyway, he fucking got me. He got me. I walked in, I set my stuff down, and he fucking got me.
It was a blind shot. I had about a half a second to calibrate where I was going to shoot, and I got him in the arm. Nailed it. The number one film at the box office was still Saturday Night Fever. And the number one album on the Billboard chart was still the soundtrack to fucking Saturday Night Fever.
It is a phenomenon.
It's taken over the country, folks. We have the Not Ready for Primetime players, and we are ready to break down the episode.
Got a disclaimer. Jacques Cousteau gets an undersea enema. Will not be seen tonight.
Oh, bummer.
Enema. I know it's butt related. What is the purpose of an enema?
You're shooting things up your butt to clean your butt out.
Clean it out. It's like a boy. It's like a butthole douche.
Yeah.
Undersea. Okay. Cold open, modern crimes. In a silent film homage, two men played by Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi robbed Charlie Chaplin, played by Gilda Radner's grave.
I love this. This is done right.
This is a true story.
It's also the perfect length. It is because it happened 2 weeks earlier.
Yeah. Charlie Chaplin died December of 1977, and his grave was robbed by two dudes, and they put up a... put up a... amount of money to undo the crime. They put up a ransom for the body.
A reward?
Something like that. And the widow of Charlie Chaplin said, I'm not paying that. And then eventually they led authorities to the body. But this is such a really weird story that in the 70s, celebrities' graves were being robbed and held ransom.
We said ransom. But
You said ransom? No, you said something else.
Oh, my God. You're going to have so much fun editing this part.
Chaka Khan.
You bastard. I love that they did this modern crime in an old school Charlie Chaplin style.
And Modern Crimes is one of his films, right?
Very funny. Yes. This is very funny. I think it was the right length. It's done right. It's all physical humor and text overlays.
They all have different fun interpretations of silent film acting.
Yes.
John, Gilda, Bill, Dan, they all do it a little differently, and they all do it really well. I think my favorite might be Bill as the doofy cop who doesn't notice the body.
And he takes I love how they'll do like a big long, like they're watching them mouth something forever. And then the text overlay is like 2 words, they just love it.
Classic joke.
It's very funny.
And speaking of classic jokes, they basically do Weekend at Bernie's here, but before that movie was ever a thing.
For sure.
Of trying to pretend this stolen corpse is a real live person as the cop goes by. And they have it smoking cigarettes. And then it just kind of ends abruptly with the non sequitur of the body coming back to life to say, live from New York, it's Saturday night.
But it might be the first and maybe only silent iteration of the opening line.
Technically, nobody says live from New York, it's Saturday night in this episode.
She mouths it and then they put the text overlay. And this is the perfect length. It's like short enough, but it's funny. It's really good.
Fun and unique usage of the opening line.
Yep.
I liked it quite a bit.
Yep. And then we get an opening montage where Don Pardo introduces the host and everyone and Andy Kaufman as a featured act.
Hell yes.
Indeed.
They still haven't figured out this new opening montage all the way.
No, because they've got some doing different things.
And there's no name tag or whatever. I thought it was a little better this week. And I do like a lot of the new opening shots. I just wish they would have finished it first. Come on.
It's kind of a work in progress. Our host is Art Garfunkel. a 36-year-old singer, actor, and poet from New York City who is best known for his partnership with Paul Simon in the folk rock duo, wait for it, Simon and Garfunkel. In 1978, fresh off the release of his Watermark album, Garfunkel embarked on his first major solo concert tour. Today, Art Garfunkel is 84 years old. In his monologue, an audio glitch during Art Garfunkel's performance of Wonderful World provokes a rant from John Belushi.
But I do know that I love you, and I know that if you love me too, what a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Can we stop? Can we do it again? I'm sorry, the speaker went bad. It sounded weird, right?
What's the matter, Art? Something going wrong?
The feedback and the speaker threw me a little bit, but let me start again.
I'm okay. Speaker again, huh? This whole place is falling apart. You know?
Art Garfunkel is announced. He comes out, he takes a bow, and immediately goes right to a song. And very much like Paul Simon in the second episode, starting off with Still Crazy after all these years, it kind of feels like that exact same thing, but instead of a slow, lilting original song, it's Art Garfunkel doing a really lame white guy rendition of the Sam Cooke song. Don't know much about history, which is a great, catchy song.
Yeah.
And he just slows it down and takes all the life out of it.
Which is, you just described Art Garfunkel's music in general.
So I think Art Garfunkel has a really lovely, really technically profound voice.
Sure.
It's his heart and soul in the delivery. You know, his voice is an instrument and he uses that instrument very well, but he's not a musical storyteller in the way that his partner was, whether that's in writing or in singing. Paul Simon maybe even has a technically less good voice than Art Garfunkel in certain moments. Like Garfunkel has that really nice, lovely, smooth, buttery tenor. And when he really gets into those high parts, it just sounds like he's not trying for it. It sounds effortless coming out of him. But Paul can tell a story while he's singing you the song. This, I'm just kind of waiting for it to be over, I guess. And then Art Garfunkel, tell me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Was an actor in movies, right? He was.
He was in movies, yeah.
He was an actor in movies.
Yeah.
Why can't he act? He is such a bad actor in this. So in the middle of his song, he stops, and then there's the sound of like a speaker blowing out, and he's like, oh no, the speaker went out. It's just so dead. And it's almost like
it's high school theater kids reading lines.
Whether he's
not acting, just kids reading lines.
He just seems like he thinks he's too cool to be here doing all this silly stuff. So they bring out John Belushi to basically do the monologue, to do the comedy bits, because Garfunkel can't really do comedy bits.
You're just doing my notes now. We got Art Garfunkel is going to do a musical number for his monologue. Color me shocked. And then he doesn't even do it. He doesn't even do his monologue. Fucking Belushi comes out and does his monologue for him. It's Art Garfunkel does two parts of a song interrupted by Belushi doing his monologue for him. Super, super lazy.
And it's the Weekend Update correspondent character because we've got all of these, but no. There are a couple of funny lines about NBC kind of making SNL the little guy. And why does Garrett have to drive Jane Pauley to work?
He references Hullabaloo, which was an American musical variety television series that aired in primetime on NBC from January 1965 to April 1966.
That's kind of a deep cut, even then.
Created to capitalize on the 1960s rock and roll craze, it featured popular musical acts, guest hosts, and go-go dancers in a format similar to ABC's Shindig. So it wasn't even an original idea.
So, wait. So, network executives, okay, you're drinking your coffee. All right. There's this show Shindig. We have to capitalize on this on our network. Have you thought about doing the same thing, but calling it Hootenanny? You're hired.
Yeah, there it is. Hullabaloo.
We got it. Rushed it, and then a year later, it's
essentially
canceled.
Every Instagram and TikTok trend now, it's just, hey, what if we did that exact thing shot for shot, but
except
with
it's us
instead of those people? Oh my God, you're brilliant. Well, then, you did reference that,
we should do that.
Garrett Morris has to drive Margaret Jane Pauley to work. She's an American television host and author, active in the news reporting since 1972. She first became widely known as Baba Wawa's successor in the NBC morning show Today.
That's funny.
She started that when she was age 25, and she was a co-anchor from 76 to 89, at first with Tom Brokaw and later with Bryant Gumbel.
I also quite liked the runner of Is NBC God? Do you think NBC's God? Would God put part 3 of Loose Change on before part 2?
A 3-part NBC television miniseries called Loose Change was televised February 26 to 28, 1978. It starred Susan Hubley and Christina Rains.
So this had just happened.
When the miniseries originally was televised, NBC broadcast the 3rd part accidentally on February 27th to its East Coast affiliates due to technical difficulties. After 16 minutes of the 3rd part being played, the error was discovered, and the networks aired the 2nd part in its entirety. This was referenced in the next episode of Saturday Night Live on March 11th. John Belushi referred to the foul-up in the monologue.
And that's like on the Wikipedia page of the incident. That is fun, and there is some really fun inside baseball TV stuff getting thrown in here. I'm assuming the writers were given the job to write this monologue, and they were like, just do whatever you want. Make John Belushi say some stuff. Art Garfunkel can't act. We can't have him say jokes.
You pointed out that Art Garfunkel can't act. I'm going to point out that Art Garfunkel is a mega rock star who's been touring the country and the world for a long time now.
Mega rock star feels like the wrong way to describe it, but you're technically right.
Yeah. So, and for some reason, he still has no idea where to hold a fucking microphone when he's talking. He's like holding the microphone all the way down here and talking super soft, like in Belushi. And then like when that works for when you're singing, bro.
Yeah, it
but
does.
when you're just talking, you got to have that shit up here.
In fact, when he gets, sometimes when we're talking, I get a little too comfortable and I'll be leaning back here. When it does sound, you can notice the difference, listener.
Yeah,
it makes a
for
huge
sure.
difference.
For sure.
I had a point. I forgot it. Eventually, John Belushi leaves the stage. Do you have anything else on? Oh, John Belushi starts talking about Art Garfunkel as Mr. Big recording star and dropping Paul Simon like a hot potato. And the whole thing feels very circle jerky about Art Garfunkel. And even when they're kind of making fun of him, they're doing it in a nice way because they probably know, even though he's major successful rock star, he's going to be the other guy from Simon and Garfunkel forever.
When we introduced him, he's most famous for.
So I think they feel the need to help him out a little bit, even when they're kind of making fun of him. I thought it was also funny that John does call out,
You're like all the rest. Look what happened to you, Mr. Big recording star. You sold out. I remember when you used to sing songs with meaning, songs with integrity. Lyrics meant something, like The Boxer. Song about street people, loneliness. La 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 la. That meant something to people. But are you singing that now? No. No, you get a little successful, so what do? You drop Paul Simon like a hot potato. And now you're singing some Sam Cooke song. I don't claim to be an A student.
John saying, like, you'd sing songs that were about something, and then his example is the lie, lie, lies from The Boxer. That was pretty funny.
For sure.
But this is a very weird start for the night. After a couple of fun John Belushi, but this thing goes on for, including the song, 8 minutes.
A long time.
It's very long.
And then the second part of the song kicks in and you're waiting for like kind of more of a joke, and then it's just like, no, he's just being the music.
Wonderful.
He wants us to fall asleep now. That's interesting.
The way that he sings World, he sings Whirl. I can't even do it the way that
Like
he does.
Whirlpool.
Occasionally his pronunciation. It's only 11:51, listeners. You gotta cut me a break. It's
I've been up for
the
hours.
wee hours of the morning. The Wonderful World. Some of the ways he hits some of his words are just interesting, and they work very well when in harmony with another person. But when he's singing by himself, you just notice all of the like kind of strange deliveries he does to hit the notes just right. Yeah, weird start to the night.
It is. But then we get a pre-tape. It's Chromega 3. A commercial for Chromega 3, the watch so powerful that it takes 3 hands to operate.
Occasionally, there will be a reusage of a pre-tape early in the night that to me proves that this might be a lesser night of the show.
This might be a week we aren't going to be here. This is a phone-in week.
A lot of times we'll see these commercials and be like, I hope they play that again. But I think when we say that, we mean maybe towards the end of the episode after our belly's full of good SNL.
Sure.
When it's the first sketch after the monologue, and the monologue was just
good.
a song, or at least wasn't good enough and was very, very long.
It just wasn't good.
And then the first thing is a repeat. I'm like, okay, it's going to be a light night. This is a great pre-tape still.
Yeah, I like the pre-tape.
But it's a pretty far back pull, and they've gotten a little better at the pre-tape since this one. So I was a little surprised to see it again. Were you?
No, because I think that even if it's not the best or they've gotten better at it since, it's good to pull out one of the early ones just for the sake of pulling out an early one.
And for new viewers that wouldn't have seen it. I still like the use of O Fortuna in this commercial to make it feel extra epic.
Yep.
The third hand is always a fun visual. And there's some good finger acting with the lady Chromega 3 when she uses her hand to like beckon. I probably said this the last time we talked about this. Uses her finger to beckon in the other hand, and it's just well directed and acted for just being hands.
I like how Jane describes it as like having all of her calendars and dates on it, and then it just has a
Blank screen.
It just has 212. It just says 2. Can you help me out here? And it just says 2-12.
It's like asking a stranger for the time.
It's pretty good.
Solid. Then a live sketch tomorrow. Tom Snyder, played by Dan Aykroyd, accidentally reveals the identity of an anonymous battered husband played by Art Garfunkel.
You know, I've never been able to speak to anyone about this before, and I'm here today and anonymously to help other men who are living in this dark, tortured, private hell. I want to show them that there are others who masturbate and cry alone in the dark out of shame and fear.
Okay, sir, I'll buy that, Andy. I'm sorry, Frank. Her name's not Andy. It's not Frank either. It's neither Frank nor Andy, but whatever your name is, it's certainly not Andy. All right, Andy. Not Andy. All right, Mr. Strauss. Sorry. Your name's not Andy Strauss. I once knew a guy who worked in local radio. His name was Andy Strauss. The name just popped into my head.
Well, let's just spend a minute talking about all the battered husbands, since they always get overlooked for the battered wives.
That part when he's like, so you're what? She's what, like 120 pounds? And you're what, like this big, tall, 6-foot guy?
Why don't you just wake up one day and kick the living daylights out of her? What a fucking great line.
Snyder opens the show telling a story about weather, snow, and mudslides. I didn't grow up watching Tom Snyder, obviously, but clearly Tom Snyder did a lot of inside crew baseball chatting on his show. And I love the way that they always pepper that in. You can tell the people writing these sketches really have spent a lot of time watching Tom Snyder. So this is one of only 2, I believe, sketches that our host Art Garfunkel is in.
I didn't catch the other one, but yeah.
And you wouldn't be
I
stupid if you watched this one and thought that was maybe not even him.
Yeah.
Because you don't see his face the whole time, and he's wearing a wig that hides his iconic hair.
For sure.
And also, I'm going to say this again. I thought Art Garfunkel was an actor, but apparently he's so bad at acting that they have to completely obfuscate him the entire time so we can't watch him. And he's still flubbing lines every once in a while when all he has to do is look at the cue card. He's not even performing to the camera.
He's like Chevy Chase in another multiverse.
But Tom Snyder's always reliable. I feel like they tend to lean on these sketches when we have a host that's not the strongest, but could be interviewed as himself. In this one, weirdly though, he's not being interviewed as himself. Would you have preferred a Tom Snyder sketch where he's like talking to Art Garfunkel about being second fiddle the whole time or something?
That would have been great, because it would have been similar to like a Between Two Ferns.
What did you think about what we got though? And this, if not
like
Art
I'm with
Garfunkel,
you. I thought it was one of the writers, and then when I was doing the second watch through and I see this in the notes, I was like, what? That was him?
When he comes into the light, I think you can tell it's his face.
I couldn't tell it was his face.
And if I'm wrong, let me know. No, I'm pretty positive that this is Garfield.
I just thought it was a writer because I didn't recognize him. And yeah, the wig covers the iconic hair.
The first time that Dan accidentally reveals the wrong information about the guy, he does it so naturally that I thought it was a flub. And then he covers it up so well with all of these added, oh, no, not Andy. Actually, I knew a guy named Andy Strauss. He used to work at a radio station.
Local radio guy named Andy Strauss.
He's like, well, now the cat's out of the bag. We might as well tell you. I've been talking to Andy Strauss. He's the manager of this place.
Bennington, Vermont.
I will give Art Garfunkel his best moment in the sketch, assuming that is him, is when he breaks down at the end once he realizes he's been seen, and that's like the one moment where he does some real genuine sketch acting that I was like, okay, maybe it was one of the writers because this moment played the way it was supposed to.
But it was bad, genuine sketch acting. By the way, Battered Masturbator is a great name for a band.
Battered Masturbator?
Yeah.
That's not a bad one.
Well, you got anything else on these Battered Masturbators?
I like when he says, "You ruined my life," and Tom Snyder's like, "Well, yeah, I guess I did. I ruined your life. I'll buy that. I'll take that." And then the way that Dan ends the sketch, talking about his eyebrows.
Yeah, he needs to get his eyebrows done.
At first, because the way he's going, I thought maybe like one of his eyebrows fell off or something. But it's just him riffing about eyebrows. He's like, when we come back, I'm losing my eyebrows, and I want to talk a little bit
about that. It must be a very Tom Snyder thing-ish to say.
I suppose. No, I think that's all I've got on tomorrow. This was kind of a funny idea for one of these. This was fine.
It was fine.
I liked it fine.
It was fine. Then we get a bumper.
Can you tell that we're kind of
we both think the same thing this episode.
Down on this episode.
A woman in the audience is, quote, overdrawn at the memory bank.
Get the Seinfeld theme drop ready. Better than being overdrawn at the sperm bank. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Bishop performs On and On. Our musical guest is Stephen Bishop, a 26-year-old singer-songwriter, guitarist, and actor from San Diego, California.
It's a whale's vagina.
He has written songs for himself as a solo artist, as well as songs for many other artists, including Barbra Streisand. Is that the sister-in-law of Elliot Gould? And then Phil Collins, or is it the ex-wife?
Yeah, they're not.
Okay.
The sister-in-law was on the show and they made out on the camera.
That's it. That's what it was. And then he also did Phil Collins and Art Garfunkel. Man, Phil's a good songwriter. Why would he take this guy's songs? He has contributed music and acted in films, including National Lampoon's Animal House.
Is this a good time to informally announce that I believe in the downtime between season 3 and 4 that we're going to talk about National Lampoon's Animal House?
We're going to get Animal House.
Which is a film neither of us have seen.
Sweet. Today, Bishop's 74 years old. He performs the song On and On from his 1976 album, Careless.
Down in Jamaica, they got lots of pretty women. Steal your money, then they break your heart. Lonesome Sue, she's in love with old Sam. Take him from the fire into the frying pan. On and on, she just keeps on trying. And she smiles when she feels like crying. On and on, on and on, on and on.
Zach Hall is just as lazy as all of the people who like to refer to Saturday Night Live as Saturday Night Dead when they don't like it. So I'm assuming that you're going to make a joke about this going on and on.
No. I will ask, how could we not turn the stage into a beach this convincingly for Brian Wilson, but we can do it for Stephen Bishop?
I really like this song.
It's got some okay melodies in it, but this episode was like destined to put people to sleep.
It is
Art
a bunch
Garfunkel and Stephen Bishop. This episode is destined to put people to sleep.
It's a bunch of lilting, tenor, soft voices. The song is very, I don't know, I'd put it kind of like yacht rocky a little bit.
Like if you were trying to put people to sleep this hard, we might as well set the whole episode in Ohio and have the musical guest be Sigur Rós and also Copeland. Like, it's just not. It's bad.
I thought this song was catchy. I think Stephen Bishop's voice is very nice. I think he has a really nice singing voice. The song grows on me. The more I listen to it, the more I like it. I'm no music expert, but to my ear, this song still has some like slightly modern sensibilities to it. I could see like a singer-songwriter artist in 2026 writing a very similar song. I enjoyed this a lot.
Yacht rocky is a very good way to describe it. That's what it sounds like. It feels like to me.
The set is cool of them being on the beach and their lyrics about Jamaica. I guess this was a pretty big hit song at the time because they're going to reference it later in the episode. But I did think it was kind of silly how they've done this set that's really cool. And there's like a rowboat on the set, but we don't see it until the very end when we pull out from the stage. So I'm like, there's been a boat here the whole time?
Details.
You didn't like this?
It was okay.
I liked this significantly more than any of the Art Garfunkel performances.
Yes.
Which I didn't hate, but I liked this a lot more than
I would say the same thing. I like this significantly more than the Art Garfunkel performances, but the bar was low.
Okay.
The lowest.
Zach
as
Hall's
John
been
Belushi would say.
gesticulating with the Nerf gun this entire time. So if I sound like I'm in constant fear, that's why.
It's a Nerf gun. Then we get a live sketch. It's Miracle in Chicago.
Yeah, the ghost of Mayor Daley, played by John Belushi, appears at an Irish pub in the lead up to St. Patrick's Day.
What's it like to be dead?
Have you seen God? Sure, I seen God. I had to get judged by him, didn't I?
What's he look like?
He's about 5'7", 180 pounds, looks to be in his late 70s.
I mean, he looks just like you, Your Honor. Well, what did he say to you?
Well, he asked me to reconsider my one vote, one turkey political philosophy. That's why I'm here. I want you to tell the new mayor. I believe you can no longer give a man a turkey and get his vote. From now on, throw in a couple of cans of cranberry sauce. You know, put in a nice bucket of mashed potatoes with giblet gravy.
Dan's Irish accent is great in this.
I like the way you said Irish.
Bill is doing more of a Chicago
Yes.
than Irish.
The way that Dan has to say, what's the type of person?
What?
He says, I wrote it down. I'm trying to find it. Oh, fuck.
Could you find it with a gun to your head?
The way he says Lithuanian
Lithuanian.
in his Irish accent.
Yes.
And the way he just has a few words that are a little bit difficult to decide how you're going to say in that accent. And he really commits to it. Whether it's accurate or not, I enjoyed the voice work he was doing the whole time.
Well, Dan is incredible. Have we ever?
I'm just noticing
have
this.
we ever talked about this?
He's quite good.
Dan's very, very good at this job.
I think this is a pretty sleepy sketch. And I would imagine, unless you're someone who is Irish or is Chicagoan, this is probably a pretty sleepy sketch for you as well.
Maybe.
Where you might not even know the Irish song they're referencing. Lil knew it. Apparently, this is a song that Lil's Nana, who is no longer with us, used to help them fall asleep by singing
Too-Ra-Loo-Ra.
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 Too-Ra-Loo-Ra. Too-Ra-Loo-Ra.
Toy boat.
So that was kind of fun for Lil to get a reference to this song that was like, oh my God, that's my childhood right there.
I love that John's Mayor Daley basically doesn't have a neck. It's kind of
Oh
fun.
yeah, he puts his neck down. He like
fun.
tries to make his face as wide as possible.
It's like a turtle.
And I looked up pictures of the real mayor. He didn't exactly look like that, but I really liked that John decided to go physical with it to try to sell the impression.
The caricature.
He comes up as a ghost. This is a mayor that's been dead for a little while, and he's there as a ghost because this pub doesn't have the right song.
And
in
he
St. Patrick's Day.
he phones the people at the jukebox. And
It's like, I'll take care of this. Wait,
This is the mayor.
That sentence. He phones the people at the jukebox, whoever he calls, whether it's the jukebox people or like the Chicago governor, whatever.
Yeah, it's
he's
just
like,
great.
hi, Mayor Daley.
he's like, this is the mayor.
yes, I am. Because he's dead.
Yeah.
He's saying, yes, I am dead.
I just came back because this place doesn't have Too-Ra-Loo-Ra on the jukebox. Yeah, a little bar over on Nord Avenue in Austin.
Hangs up the phone. It's all taken care of.
Yeah.
And then in a puff of smoke, just like he showed up, he disappears. Leaves the turkey because they referenced maybe this was a thing of his.
That was Mayor Daley's thing,
gonna
yeah.
buy people's votes by giving them turkey.
He was a man of the people.
I guess, but that's shady as hell to be like, hey, starving families, vote for me. Don't look anything up. Just take this turkey. It's like what Elon Musk did, raffling off money to get people to vote for Trump.
Well, that was completely legal.
Apparently. I don't know if we're supposed to like Mayor Daley or not. I don't know if he's considered a good guy.
Well, did you like this sketch? You thought it was sleepy.
I thought it was sleepy, but I didn't think it was bad.
was all
I
right.
think I liked it better the second time. I didn't think it was very funny.
Okay.
It made sense as a close to St. Patrick's Day sketch. Yeah.
I like turkey. And then we get a bumper. It's a man in the crowd who, quote, often bathes alone.
Do you ever bathe with your partner? Like take a shower with your wife?
Frequently.
But is it out of sexy times or is it out of like this makes the most sense because we both need to take a shower right now?
It's kind of where we hang out a lot.
That speaks to me.
Yeah.
Lil and I will be like doing bits, taking a shower and making each other laugh, kind of getting on each other's nerves, spending a lot of time like, get the fuck out. It's my turn now.
Oh, I
That kind of thing.
I waited out because I need the water to be real hot.
You wait it out.
Yeah, we have
But not
the shower
too
time.
long. Not long enough for it to get less
We have
hot.
the shower time together, and
Yes.
then she needs less time than I do because I need to run the hot water out until there's no more left.
Are you okay?
I love the shower.
Oh, yeah. I love a good shower. Live sketch. Stage door guard. Stage door guard, played by John Belushi, keeps Stephen Bishop and other hangers-on out of a Kiss concert.
Excuse me, I'm Paul Stanley's brother. It's his birthday tonight. I'm in the Air Force, and I bailed out over the city to get here.
Gee, that's the best one I've heard all night. What's your name?
Angus Stanley.
Is Angus Stanley on the list, Jonas? Check.
No.
It's not on the list. You're not on the list, so do you mind standing back there? And if your brother comes out, he'll see you. Okay, pal?
Come on, man.
Don't
Can
give
I
me
send
any
a
problems.
message
You
back to
understand?
him?
I know. Hey, where are you going?
It's okay, I'm Dr. Bob. I'm on the list.
Dr. Bob on the list?
Yeah. Open the door.
With a star next to it. Okay, go on in, Dr. Bob. Hey, good to see you.
Zach Hall, thoughts on the rock and roll group Kiss?
I have very little. I have very little thoughts. They are a rock and roll group, and they are famous for wearing makeup and writing songs that are songs.
I hate Kiss.
Yeah.
Like, pretty deeply. Like, the way that some people hate
Robert Klein?
groups like Nickelback or whatever you want to put there. Robert Klein? Took me a second. I hate Kiss. I think they're awful. I think they're so commercial and fake. I think I think they sound awful. I think their most popular songs are pretty bad. I don't get Kiss. One of my very best friends in the world loves Kiss. Grew up on them. As a kid, that was his rock band. He's seen them live. They mean everything to him. And I love that guy. But I just can't.
Yeah.
I just can't. I hate him. I hate him.
Yep.
But this sketch being at a Kiss concert, other than when Dan Aykroyd comes out as one of the band members unconvincingly later in the sketch,
Correct.
it could be anybody. This is more about the guy guarding the backstage door at a concert and kind of a parade sketch of all of the different types of people who will come and try to get through the barrier. I think that's a good idea. I don't think this is as funny as it should be, but it is a good idea.
It's okay.
And I think it has a really strong ending.
I think John's having a big episode so far.
Agreed.
How do you turn Lorraine down, though? That's crazy. Howdy.
Lorraine comes in as a groupie who apparently got taken home by one of the band members a previous time.
She offers him some sexy time later, and he says, "Get out."
Doesn't even
here.
think about it.
No, he says, "Get out of here."
Not falling for it. After that, Art Garfunkel
What's he
comes
say
out
there? He says-
as Paul Stanley's Air Force brother who just parachuted in. He's Angus Stanley. Not on the list.
Not on
but
the
I like
list.
John's, like when he comes out and he's like, I just parachuted to get here. John's like, well, that's the best one I've heard all night.
Yep. I do kind of I kind of like sympathize with John's character though. I was a tour manager for a band for a long time.
Of course.
The list was my job, and it was annoying.
At stage door, like friends and family, like guest
Like
list type
tickets,
stuff.
Like guest list to get in.
There's one time that I was very kindly added to a guest list by an artist that I really liked, and I just had to go to like the box office. So what were you like hanging out at the venue box office?
No,
or?
I would literally turn in a list.
Oh, so putting together the list and making sure it's right is your job. And if you fuck it up, that could be bad because someone who needs to get in won't be let in.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you ever fuck it up?
No, but it would frequently change very, very quickly.
Yeah. And you would have just printed it and you're like
I would
at a
have-
venue somewhere and you have to figure out how to go get another list printed and
I gotta
worked on.
go, give them other names and all this bullshit. These things happen.
Who the fuck is playing Dr. Bob with the nitrous tank?
Are you doing my notes now?
Who is that?
Who plays Dr. Bob?
I also doubt that the Kiss guys were that cool. I don't think they were that cool to be. They were probably doing alcohol and cocaine. I highly doubt that they were doing something cool like nitrous.
Jim Downey gets in with no issue. I like
Is
that.
Jim Downey Ryan O'Neal's brother, Tatum O'Neal's uncle? Is that Jim Downey?
Correct.
I know you recognize him because he has a bit part in Billy Madison. Is that what he's in?
And he's got an actual part in There Will Be Blood.
Right. I remember you talking about that. I haven't seen either of those since we started this, so I don't recognize him yet. And I wrote down who is
And he's
that.
younger, and he's got a bunch of hair, so he's also
It's
really,
like blonde hair, long hair.
Yeah.
Stephen Bishop tries to get through. He comes by. He's like, hey, I have this hit song.
On and On?
On and on. And I just want to come by, check out the show. I'm in town. And John's like, oh, you wrote that song? Fuck that song.
I hate
Get
that
out of
song.
here.
Get out of here. That's great.
And that is kind of a funny joke for Stephen Bishop to participate in.
It is.
When you have this hit song that is kind of yacht rocky and lilting, I'm sure there were some people that hated that song when it came out.
Jerry Aldini comes by.
Bill comes through with Jane. He's the A&R for Polysutra Records. Not on the list.
Oh.
Hey, if you see Lou Adler and Irv Azoff, tell them that Steve, I'll never work again in this business parish, wouldn't let him in.
Yeah, Steve Parrish.
Again, I think this is honestly a super strong setup for a sketch.
It is.
And none of these passerbys are funny enough.
It's not that bad.
No.
But yeah,
It's not funny
It's not
enough.
really coming and hitting any bells.
Like Bill as this A&R guy should have been hilarious. And instead it just kind of feels like what a normal interaction in this situation would go like. Let's see. Dan comes out. What did you think of Dan as a member of KISS? Do you think he's supposed to be Gene Simmons?
Unconvincingly was a really good way of putting it.
Angus makes it through. That's the actual brother. Dan, when the crowd like comes to cheer him on, he hisses at all of them, which was kind of funny.
Yeah, and then we find out that Steve Parrish, the guy running the list himself, is not on the list.
Nope. He heads back to get a beer, but Garrett, who's been a police officer on standby this whole time, checks the list. I thought that was a really clever way to end this sketch.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite part of this whole sketch and kind of made it worthwhile.
Yep.
And cemented exactly what you said, that John is having a pretty good episode this week and
Solid.
did this pretty well. And that's a great character play. After that, a bumper. Coming up next, the Anorexia Cookbook.
Yikers.
This is a tasteless joke.
Yikers.
And that's not an anorexia pun.
No, it's
unless
not.
it is. Maybe
especially
it is. Maybe
given the fact that at least
two-thirds
of the women on this cast are probably suffering from anorexia at this moment in time.
Now, in the book that I am reading, I will give some benefit of the doubt because they truly did not know or believe how harmful it was to the people who were doing that then. Where like Gilda would be like bragging and joking about it and everyone would be like laughing about it. And nowadays it is so dark and unfunny.
Yeah, they don't.
And this is like, it feels so tasteless when you know that some of your cast members are struggling with that. But I don't think at the time anybody saw it as like this huge issue that's being struggled with.
That bragging about it thing, that's cry for help.
Well, we know that now.
Yeah.
We know that now. Of course it is.
Yeah. Well, coming up, it's back. It's the weekend update coming up
teaser tag
segment. Elizabeth Taylor is force-fed for charity and more coming up on Weekend Update.
This was a good picture joke for one of
good
these.
Picture joke.
Someone's hand is in Elizabeth Taylor's
This
mouth.
is a spot for a good picture joke. If you've got a good picture joke for this week, use it here, and then we'll figure out the filler later. Then we get Weekend Update with Jane Curtin and Dan Aykroyd, the Weekend Update news team. Brought to you... Brought to you by the Hershey Highway.
They're getting good at this.
They're just trying to slip stuff by the censors.
And
now.
I love it.
It's great.
If they use this spot for that, I love it.
2 weeks ago, you were like, I don't really think we need this extra thing. And I'm like, who cares? And I wasn't trying to...
funny.
I wasn't trying to dismiss your opinion as in who cares. I was trying to say who cares as in like, we have another avenue for another joke to slip in.
I got your point then. We all get it. Okay, but that was my dick. He just shot me with a Nerf gun in the cock. Jesus Christ.
Had nothing to do with that. You can call me Zach. Well, Jane and Dan are going to report these top stories of the week. Like a human baby is born without a mother in a scientific marvel.
It's a really long joke about cloning that's a walk to a Frank Sinatra Jr. joke.
It's quite the long walk. It's not much of a payoff.
No, not really.
Then we get the male cadets at West Point are dismissed for fraternizing. All of them. And then there was the one female who, and then they're
going to notify her nest of kin. Is this a gangbang
I
joke?
really have no, like this joke left me going, was the joke that they killed her? What the fuck is this joke?
In my head, the joke is that they all had sex with her until she died and they have to tell her fraternizing. I don't know.
This is a tough joke. I don't know.
It's not great.
Yeah. And either way, it didn't land. Even in the room, I don't think it landed that much.
Well, speaking of jokes that are a little tough, Orson Welles is in a skiing accident in Aspen, and they do a picture joke of him as this big fat turtle with like a gauze wrapped around it. And when it's big fat turtle, it is bigger and fatter than you're picturing it in your head. It's like the world's largest turtle.
It's a giant tortoise that's like a chonky giant tortoise.
He's going to be okay from the injury. He'll be back up on his feet in 5 years.
It's a picture joke and a fat joke. Then in Robbins, Illinois, police force is fired and hired by the Philadelphia police force.
This is a pretty solid police brutality joke.
And
It'll fit right in at Philadelphia.
And a Philly is trash joke. So, yeah, 2 for 1. Then we get a substantial reward offered for the return of Charlie Chaplin's stolen body, which is we referenced in the cold open.
They almost don't even have to do a joke about this story.
No,
because it's so silly to begin with. But the joke is that they've opened up a place to send his body if you find it.
Yeah.
Where's Charlie?
It's a mail to this address joke.
And the funniest part is Jane saying void were prohibited by law because it's mailing a dead body.
I didn't get it.
So it's gonna be prohibited by law.
That's a super good line. Well, then we get an archbishop and a cardinal are caught dancing at Studio 54. It's a picture joke.
I thought this one was funny too.
Yeah.
Because they're wearing their religious garb.
And it's just two guys that are like
close-ish to each other. Like they're talking.
Two old guys are talking, but one's got his arm around the other kind of. And then the other one, they're like shaking hands kind of like.
It kind of looks like they're in the middle of dancing.
They're just like in some sort of like quick embrace, but it's not really, it's funny. It's a good picture joke, I think.
But they turn it into a joke about how Studio 54 has a dress code.
Yeah, a dress
code. And they had to be removed for not wearing the necktie or whatever.
They have a different kind of neck garb.
That was kind of funny.
Yeah. And then the mine workers president is pressured to step down during a coal strike. It's a hire someone to kill your entire family joke.
To murder your critics and their family, yeah.
Yeah.
I like how it goes from Dan saying, yep, they're going to murder all of their critics and families. Good news for phlebitis sufferers. For the
what a transition
into our weekend update correspondent. It is science editor Dr. Garrett Morris who is showing off the wonder drug hemomycin and its anti-clot action using a Mighty Mouse film clip.
Get it? Hemomycin?
Hemomycin. I don't get it.
Mice.
Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse. Dr. Garrett Morris. I like the sound of that.
I do too. And I like Garrett trying his best. I mean, he's a pro.
Yeah.
But trying his best to get through this jargon, and he still finds places to slip in his man, and he finds little flubs in it. That's enough to do it for me. Yeah, he says, blood clot flow through the brain, man. And I love it. When he drops the slide.
Yeah, he drops this
off the telescope.
We'll get it back up here real quick.
Back up there.
Phlebitis sounds like a deep vein thrombosis, but it affects the more superficial blood vessels that are closer to the surface of the skin.
Sure.
A DVT, deep vein thrombosis, is similar, but with veins that are deeper in the muscle, the clots of these nature in these veins can move to the lungs and become a pulmonary embolism.
Sounds awful.
Yeah. Mighty Mouse joke was super fun.
I wouldn't say super fun.
I loved it.
I'm glad you loved it. They've done bits like this before where we look at a microscope and there's a cartoon to show like things fighting each other.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think they made a mistake by keeping the sound in the Mighty Mouse cartoon because then Garrett's microphone kind of cuts out and for a little bit, the Mighty Mouse theme song totally cuts out what he's saying. And then like the timing is a little bit off. I think it was an okay idea, an okay bit, but it wasn't executed very well just by the room and the control team.
I liked the way that Garrett handled the mistiming. I thought it was.
You thought so?
I thought it was super fun, and I wish that they had Andy Kaufman off to the side lip syncing the theme.
I was thinking about Andy Kaufman for sure.
Yeah,
I think I catch Garrett saying right after this bit something like, "Well, if that doesn't kill a joke, I don't know what will."
He says, "If that doesn't kill a germ, I don't know what.
That makes
nothing
more sense.
will."
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, come on.
I'm glad that you like this bit. It was okay. I
fun.
thought it was not executed super well by the people in the control room.
Well, then
the Nixon tag at the end when they're like, "Oh, phlebitis. That's what Richard Nixon had, right?" Yeah. So I'm sure he suffered a lot. Oh yeah. I'm glad.
Were they?
Me too.
Were they making fun of Chevy for that? Because I hope so.
Or just making fun of Nixon.
Yes,
like being glad that
making
he
fun
suffered.
of Chevy, making fun of Nixon.
That I didn't think of it from that angle, but it is very close to the Chevy joke.
Well, then we're back to Weekend Update with Jane and Dan. Larry Flynt suffers a near-death experience after being shot and takes a stance on the First Amendment. This was a long walk to nowhere.
There's a little joke that's kind of dark in here when he's talking about how he would give his life for the First Amendment, and then the GA of Georgia says his stance is protected but not bulletproof because he got shot.
This didn't get a laugh at all. It got a very small from the crowd. Like there was
a slight edge to it, but
like
it wasn't
one
hilarious.
or two in the crowd that gave it a little bit of a ooh, but like not much. And then Step and fidget.
Step and fetch it. That's how Jane says it.
I don't think Jane likes these types of jokes.
The guy's name. Because of the one time when she's like, was it worth it?
Yeah, I think she's like stepping on it on purpose.
Which makes Bill laugh. Did you notice that?
Yeah, Bill.
Because nobody in the crowd really gets it.
Yeah.
And Bill thinks it's funny, and I think he thinks it's funny that the crowd's not laughing.
Yeah.
And he probably thinks it's funny that if he knows that Jane doesn't really like doing these in the first place.
Secret little moments in between the lines that make Weekend Update for me. And that's to this day.
And that make, you're right.
Yeah, between Jost and Shay, like that's all I love this shit.
And in this, it's like the things that make this cast. Where like I feel like I've gotten to know Jane Curtin and Bill Murray enough that I can read into what these little looks and laughs might actually mean.
Yeah.
It's very fun for me.
It's like watching Sarah come out to do a Weekend Update bit with Jost because you know
the way just they look at each other.
You know that she is just ready to fucking skewer him.
I love Sarah Sherman.
Yeah.
Well, the Weekend Update correspondent, he's already out on the stage. Bill Murray is here as our movie critic. He's going to eat crow and say that the Vietnam War was a mistake after being inspired by Jane Fonda.
Coming Home, which also stars John Voight and Bruce Dern, is a sensitive portrayal of the Vietnam War's tragic impact on the personal lives of three very attractive people. While watching Coming Home, this reviewer was forced to view that period of our history in a different light, and I realize now, and I must say this, and I've never said this before, the Vietnam War was a mistake. Let me finish, please. I will be heard. I don't care how this hurts me, privately or publicly, I believe we should not have fought that war.
This was the best Bill critic bit so far.
I'm glad you feel that way.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was miles above anything else that we've seen, but I do like
Streets Ahead.
I do like the way that we're developing this character as the type of guy who would be like, you know what? I just got into politics.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of a fun shade on this character. The line when he's like, you're into politics now, Jane, and I respect that. I'm into politics. It's neat. I think that's so funny. I know so many stupid assholes that are like that with politics. They're like, I'm super into politics. I love it. I'm like, no, that's not how you do it.
Yeah, it's not a sports
You don't
team.
love being, you don't love being into politics.
Stop
you have
treating
to.
it like that.
And there's a good thread here of Jane Fonda started talking about politics. I said you shouldn't do it. Then I watched a movie that changed my mind, and now I'm all for it. And I like it. I like the thread here. I like the connection of two beautiful Janes at the update desk. Maybe you're selling me. Maybe this is up there with the better of these.
It's pretty, because he doesn't spend the whole time like, get out of here, you knuckleheads. I mean it. I'm serious. Like he actually like talks about stuff and kind of bounces around from that. And while I didn't find all the Jane Fonda stuff and all the references that he pulled out like to be super funny or great, it just was a better rendition of the character because he like stuck to actually what he was talking about instead of trying to rely on all these little weird crutches.
Back to modern mirroring old, it reminds me of the Ashley maybe Trump's a bad guy sketch from last season.
Oh, yeah.
That whole thing of when he's like, okay, now hear me out.
Okay.
Maybe.
Possibly.
The Vietnam War was a bad idea. Get out of here. Like when he's using the same bit, but for this new joke,
right.
there's new, kind of like when Rosanna Dana like adds new stuff to these bits. I thought that was a fun play on this affable guy.
And he also, because of that type of guy that you're talking about, he kind of has that, you know what? I'm just going to say it meme, like that energy. Like he's got the.
Then says something that everybody has already thought
that's
before.
Not like a hot take at all. Like it's a very tepid, everybody understands this.
Which is any person who is very familiar with these old seasons of SNL listening to our podcast when we're like, you know what? Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah,
they're like,
it's the glue. And they're like, duh, this is the fucking.
It's from 100 years ago.
You and your 20 to 30 something opinions.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
One last thing on Bill at the end. He says, because you watch with captions and I don't.
I do.
Maybe you got this and I didn't. He says like, it sounds to me like, so get out of here, all you hawk maniacs. Is that what he says? Do you remember this part? You don't have to. It's okay.
That could be a reference to something Jane Fonda that I don't understand.
Oh, maybe. Then we're back to Weekend Update. Jane and Dan. Bubbles, this is the last joke of the night. Bubbles, the hippopotamus, is shot with a tranquilizer and dies and kills a troop of camping brownies in the process by rolling down a hill.
The hippopotamus was shot with several tranquilizers and rolled down a hill, and there is a humorous note on this one, though. It did kill an entire troop of brownies.
That is pretty funny.
Yep. This is a very Chevy Chase joke.
Yeah, and you talking about Jane hating a type, I am always glad when they still do some of these Chevy setups that did work despite Chevy back in the day.
Yeah.
And this is one of them.
Yeah.
Because Jane has a different way of delivering the serious half.
She sounds like a newscaster.
And a different way of delivering like the humorous half. I really like the way that Jane does these jokes. This was good. That's the news. Good night and have a pleasant tomorrow. You wanted to say it, didn't you?
I did. You got me.
Would you like to say it?
Nope. Ladies and gentlemen.
That Dan was like, for a long time in Weekend Update, because he didn't have anything to say. A couple of things we didn't talk about. But he, for a long time, has been like leaning back like he's asleep with his shoes off, like up on the desk.
I have not noticed
Then
this.
at the end, when it's the end of Weekend Update, he like hops up like he's been there and alert the whole time. The other thing we didn't mention earlier in Update is there's a flub where Dan doesn't realize he has the next line. And Jane says, Dan, you're up next. And he's like, oh, all right.
Lawrenceville.
Well, live. He says the word live.
It was before the Larry Flint joke.
Anyway, now I'm done.
Ladies and gentlemen, Art Garfunkel performs All I Know. Our host takes the stage to perform the song All I Know from his 1973 debut solo album, Angel Care.
I bruise you, you bruise me. We both bruise too easily to let it show. I love you, and that's all I know.
Wake me up when you're done talking.
This is my favorite Art Garfunkel performance tonight, and I'll talk about it a little bit, and I still like it less than the Stephen Bishop one. I was so positive when this started that Art had already done this song on the show, but it wasn't this song. It was I Only Have Eyes for You. This song I thought was a cover, but this is an Art Garfunkel original, and I think this is his most, to my ear, like well-known, most recognizable solo song. Did you not know this song?
I don't care for Art Garfunkel's music.
You don't have to, and I just think that this song is like in the ether. You had never heard this song before?
If it was in the ether, I couldn't tell you.
It didn't prick your ear up.
Couldn't tell you ether or. Sorry.
That was good. I was just reading at the same time.
Go ahead.
The cello's a nice touch.
Okay.
His voice is always in tune, but sometimes his delivery doesn't always work for me. But this song is the one where his voice in the parts where he pulls back and the parts where he does a little bit more, I think it works in this one. There's that one part that always sticks with me. The endings always come too fast. They come too fast. I like this song. It's catchy. There's some weird sounds over the piano at the end, which was kind of distracting. Okay. But I think this is a lovely, nice little song. Probably my favorite Art Garfunkel solo song. But if you don't like Art Garfunkel already, this song is not going to convince you otherwise.
Well, all I know is that I didn't enjoy it.
Well, good thing, because that was quick. We can move on to the next thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, Art Garfunkel fucking stays out to perform Scarborough Fair / Canticle. Our host remains on stage to perform the song Scarborough Fair / Canticle, a traditional song popularly arranged by Simon and Garfunkel of their 1966 album Parsley, Sage, Rosemary, and Thyme.
Cut to us at the end of last week's podcast. We were saying, oh, Art Garfunkel's hosting, but I guess he's not going to do any music.
Yeah, all he did was music and one sketch and part of another.
Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Remember me to one who lives there. She once was a true love of mine.
This is an iconic Simon and Garfunkel song, one of many, and I do really like this song. Do you like this song?
No.
You don't like this song either?
It's whatever.
Just because it's slow. You don't really like slow songs
It's just
very
such
much.
a, like, these are put me to sleep. So these are lullabies. I don't need
2 back to back is a lot.
And it's not that I don't appreciate them at all as far as this that type of music, because I like Ben Gibbard. You know, like I
don't really know Ben Gibbard.
I like Tom York. Like I like guys that can that have these high pretty
range.
voices.
I know you have range.
Yeah, like Ben Folds writes really pretty lullaby
Beautiful
songs.
ballads.
Like
yeah,
it's not. I just don't like Art Garfunkel.
And sometimes it is in the context of the show that makes it more or less enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
When you have 2 of these songs after the 12 o'clock point in the show, and it just kind of always works out where I'm watching these in the evening anyway, and it can be like a long stretch of the episode.
Yeah.
Like a long stretch. I do really like this song, but as a solo, it just does not hit the same. As good as the guitar player here is doing a job at trying to fill Paul Simon's shoes for the instrumental side of things, because he does a really great job, the guitar player to this. It's a pretty iconic guitar bit. It's just not the same. Art Garfunkel does his part very well, and it needs the other part going along with it for the song to feel complete, so it doesn't. Did they do this song together in the reunion special?
I want to say that they did. They did a couple of iconic ones of theirs, and I want to say this was one of them.
One other thing, and he does it all over, but when you hear it in the context of a Simon and Garfunkel song, the way that Garfunkel uses the dynamics of his voice, and he knows when to pull back and get kind of quiet, and then he knows when to build up and get a little bit louder. I think when he really works the dynamics of his voice so it doesn't just sound like the same level of wispy and quiet and tenor the whole time, I think it is a little bit better. But again, you need the second part of this song for it to work.
Yeah.
And even if Paul Simon was doing maybe... Because Paul Simon's singing and playing the iconic guitar bit at the same time. Maybe that would work.
I'm telling you, Simon's the better half.
I don't think anybody's arguing that. Is anybody arguing that?
I heard you arguing it.
I meant more on
I'll
like
talk to the editor.
Okay, hi, hello. I meant more like on personal vibes. You know, like I think Art Garfunkel would maybe be a better hang than Paul Simon potentially.
Oh, okay.
Lovely song though. Did you notice a couple times tonight that Garfunkel hits a sour note every once in a while? It happens in the very first song during the cold open, and it happens here. When his voice is just a little bit off key, it really strikes me badly. You're done. You just want to be done.
I can't stand these songs.
Okay, what's next?
It's live sketch Looks at Books. Looks at Books is back.
I know.
Nerds, Todd and Lisa, played by Bill Murray and Gilda Radner, talk about their new book chronicling the fate of the graduating class of 77.
When do you think the last one of these was? Looks at Books. It's been a long time.
Been a hot minute.
Today our guests are 2 young authors who have written a book about their own graduating class, Whatever Happened to the Class of 77. Lisa Loopner, Todd LaBounta, tell us a little bit about your book.
Well, it's about 30 of our classmates and what's happened to them since last June.
Well, I have to admit that I haven't read the book yet, but it sounds exciting. Can you tell us some of the most vivid characters from the class of 77 and what's happened to them since they graduated?
Well, there's Scott Kendall, who mowed lawns all summer, and he's going to junior college out in South Dakota.
Yeah, and there's this real interesting chapter about this girl. Her name's Carrie Finn, and she got a job as a nanny, you know? Like, she took care of this real rich family's little girl in Paris in France, and the hotel where they filmed a movie in front of it, and she saw Sybil Shepherd.
The nerds are back.
Yeah.
I love it. Lisa Loopner and Todd
Not whatever the email said. Not what we've been calling him this whole time.
Yeah, not De La Muca.
Maybe it changes.
I love that Lisa can't control how loud she talks.
This sketch, we're in the one stretch of the episode that's 2 things that are awesome.
Yeah.
And this one, if it's awesome, it's not really because of the writing. I mean, they're referencing this fad, which was a book written about a high school graduating class from 10 years ago. Right. They made a movie out of it. It's a popular thing.
I like that their thing is like, whatever happened to the kids that graduated like 4 months ago?
Yeah.
It's a pretty funny concept.
And it's all of them like laughing about classmates who did normal stuff, and they can't help but crack up talking about it.
And it's, again, like a book trend, like we were just talking about with TikTok and with all these other things. Like, what if we wrote that same book, but it was us instead of them? Like, and it would be really fun. Like, that's not original. It's not funny. It's not good. Come up with a concept.
Which is the joke here.
Yeah,
This is funny and original and good.
Correct.
But I think more funny than the content of the sketch are the performances of Bill and Gilda.
Bill and Gilda are wonderful in this.
Is Gilda the best at characters on the show?
God, she is so good.
Is she the best at characters?
Well, Dan is also really good.
Yes, but it's always Dan doing his Dan thing. Gilda kind of disappears into some of these characters. She disappears into Rosanna Dana.
Lisa Lupner,
She disappears into Lisa Lupner. I know her.
Yeah.
I know her. And of course it's Gilda, but there's a little bit more removed from the Gilda who's answering questions in front of the crowd for the cold open.
The energy between her and Bill, the like best friend energy, that's maybe just a
flirty,
step past
kinda,
the best friendness, but we don't know. Like, it's just that you can taste it. Like, it's so good.
You taste it?
Yeah. The way that they do it is just so authentic. And like the whole, like, the noogie thing, and then like
Going back for the second one, like
even
knocking her
before
on
the
the head.
noogie thing, there like he would like kind of roast her a little bit, and she'd be like, "Stop it," and then go into doing like they're really good at this.
The thing that Bill's doing with his tummy the whole time, like shaking his belly and sticking it out. From the Live from New York book, Bill and Gilda were like on again, off again.
Ooh.
And this is from the book. The way that they interact with each other in nerd sketches can be a good way to gauge whether they were on or off again at that point.
Okay.
Because everything about the sketch is them like kind of trying to show off at each other.
Right.
And Bill trying to make Gilda laugh and Gilda trying to make Bill laugh. And I think the more, just like exactly like you're saying.
Yeah.
The like friends.
The best friend energy
There's like a
was just,
step
there's
past that.
Probably something there.
There was a step past that.
Yeah.
I think Bill, like in that book, doesn't quite say these words, but talks about Gilda a little bit as like a great lost love of his life. And I think pretty much anybody who met Gilda Radner feels that way about it. But
not fucking Elliot Gould, the dummy who was trying not to marry her in that episode. What an idiot.
Yeah. He didn't deserve her.
Oh, I like that we got the looks at books and nerds back in the same shot, and there's no Robert Klein. It's so lovely.
Did you think that the nerds kind of give Beavis and Butthead a little bit in the way that they're just
Kinda.
extendedly laughing at things that aren't really that funny?
Kinda. But in a more innocent way.
And whenever they tell a normal, just like a one sentence story, and then they say, we wrote a really funny chapter about it, about the person mixing sugar and salt for potato salad and cupcakes.
You just explained the entire chapter. I don't need to read it now.
One chapter is about this girl who got cooties.
I love how they just describe how road trips work in general, and they're talking about it like it's the most unique thing on earth.
Because they're high school graduate nerds.
We just drove like straight through and took turns, and we only stopped to go to the bathroom and eat. Like, yeah, that's how road trips.
Yeah,
that's how you do road trips. Thank you, Miss Curtin.
Gilda calls Bill a turd without using the word. I saw you in the toilet this morning and my mom made me flush you. That was funny.
That was a great line.
So there's solid stuff here, and talking about it, there's more meat to the sketch than I thought. But what sells it is the performances and the chemistry between these two. And even like Jane quietly judging them and being like, that sounds great, guys.
Yep.
It's a totally different angle than Dan being like, get these nerds out of here.
She wants to say that, but she can't. It's good.
Pretty good.
Then it's a bumper. It's a man in the audience who is a, quote, suburban gorilla. Not a gorilla, but a gorilla.
Fight the power.
Indeed.
Then a pre-tape.
Yeah.
It's Schiller's Reel.
Which are always better than films by Gary Weiss.
It's Don't Look Back in Anger.
This is so cool.
An elderly John Belushi visits his old friends at the SNL graveyard in a film by Tom Schiller. I might cry. I might tear up a little bit.
What a wild multiversal twist.
This is awesome.
This is so profound.
Yeah. Without trying to be.
Because it was a sketch, but now it is so profound that it almost doesn't feel like a sketch at all. That it just feels like this weird, eerie
is
like,
exactly the word.
Like being talked to by a ghost as if he got old.
Yeah.
It's so beyond being a sketch anymore. It's just pure cinema.
The way that it ended up because of time.
Yeah.
Incredible.
John is so fucking good in this.
Yeah.
The way he embodies this old man.
And he keeps like sniffing.
I might get emotional talking about this. The way he keeps sniffing,
Get bricked up.
Dude, yeah, I'm so hard talking about this. That's not what is that what emotional means to you, Zach?
Yes.
We got to work on that. He embodies this old man so well, and he has so many little characteristics, the way he walks, the way he sniffles, the way he says things, the grit to his voice, and that he was so good at it, but like never got to do it. It's just so profound.
It's so super sad and super satisfying at the same time.
So let's talk through this a little bit, because he's going to visit he's on a train and he's going to visit the Not Ready for Primetime Cemetery. And we get the knowledge that every single cast member other than John Belushi in this timeline has died. And he's going to pay his respects to each of the cast members.
He's outlived them all.
And give us a little bit of alternate universe information on how they died. And some of these are really funny.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, there's the iconic line that John's saying.
They all thought I'd be the first to go. I was one of those live fast, die young, leave a good-looking corpse types, you know? But I guess they were wrong.
It's really good. We talk about Gilda. She had her own Canadian show.
Which is interesting because she's from Detroit.
Cute as a button. God bless her. And I thought this was sweet because a lot of them have jagged jokes.
Yeah.
But Gilda just has
just a very
cute as a
sweet,
button.
yep.
God bless her.
Yep.
And of course, she's
Nothing
she
but
is
love.
gone.
You
She's the
couldn't
only
give
one
her
who's
anything
gone.
else.
Lorraine murdered her DJ husband and had a pecan farm. She was this big when she died.
She was this big.
What does that mean?
Is that
What
another
happened?
anorexia joke? They've got to stop.
Oh, no.
They've got to stop.
Jane married a stockbroker, had kids, moved upstate, and died during cosmetic surgery.
Oh, complications.
This one's dark. Garrett Morris had success in black theater, then died of an overdose of heroin.
I think Garrett would have loved that short obit.
Oof. Bill lived the longest, 38 years.
Oh, boy.
He had just grown his mustache back, too.
And he was happy about it.
I love the Chevy line.
I did, too.
Chevy Chase. He died right after his first movie with Goldie Hawn. Over here.
Then he died. Moving on.
Moving on. Dude, I thought it would have been even funnier if he would have just been like, Chevy Chase. And then just moved right on to the next thing.
This was about as good as that.
Yeah.
And it was also, I think, maybe making a joke at like, fuck you, Chevy,
yeah.
hope your movie sucks.
That movie
type
did
thing.
suck, actually.
And we might talk about it too. We might also talk about foul play.
Sure. Short nothing about Chevy.
The Dan line is funny. He loved his Harley so much. He was going 175 miles an hour.
He was a blur.
Went out on a blaze of glory, and John had to identify his body. He had webbed toes. It's a little more complicated here, but like the Dan-John friendship and Dan being around and involved, like as John died and was put to rest, something here feels like kind of a flip-flopped.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if he did, but
This
maybe
is
like
so
Dan was
we- This is so weird.
involved in the process of like identifying his body type stuff. I don't know.
I mean, they were probably best friends.
They were. And the way that Dan still talks about John, like there are so many people who will talk about John in a way that makes you think less of him, and maybe rightfully so. But then Dan will always bring you back to why John Belushi was as special as he was. And you believe him. So there's all of that. And then the joke, first of all, okay, hearing John Belushi to camera as an old man talking about like Saturday Night Live was the greatest experience of my life.
The NBC
and
Saturday
now
Night
they're all
Show.
gone. Why did I live so long and they're all dead? And to me, this almost feels like pocket universe where John has been dead all this time without all of his friends, alone. And here in this space, like wondering, man, why do I have to be here all by myself for so long? Why did I have to go so soon? And this is the inverse of like, why did I have to live so long while they all died?
It's because he's a dancer.
That is so funny.
It's not.
It's not funny.
This was they had no ending for this one.
No, I think it's so. He's dancing on their graves.
Okay.
It's like, you know why? And the way he builds up to that line where it's like, I love the show so much. Why am I still here? You know why? I'll tell you. Gets close to the camera like he's going to tell you a secret because I'm a dancer. Then he starts dancing on all their graves. I thought that was really funny.
It was okay.
I think this is one of the greatest pre-tapes of all time.
It's a good Schiller reel.
But it's because of
how eerie it is.
Yeah. It was funny and weird on its own.
But it's fucking weird. It's weird.
It's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's profound.
It's kind of fun.
If you haven't watched it, or if you haven't watched it in a long time, if you've been going down this journey through the podcast with us, take a second, watch John Belushi as the old guy in the sketch and feel the feelings. It's interesting. It's interesting.
Quite.
And it's in such a not great episode.
Yeah.
And it's one of the best moments. And that's one of the things of SNL is like one of the greatest all time remember this moments of the show can come in one of the least memorable episodes.
Yeah. There is a scene in House that I love. It's one of my favorite scenes. And I always, like, even through my watch throughs, I'm like, how come I never see this scene? Why is that? And then it turns out it's in like one of the 2 episodes that I skip because I'm like, oh, no, I don't want to watch that.
It's like a clip show type episode. What makes them so bad?
I do skip clip shows on rewatches of stuff, but no, there's the episode where something happens. Yep, I skipped that one.
Death of a character?
Death of someone, but not an actual like character.
Okay.
And then there's season 2, episode 2, which all house.
Did like an actor die and they had to?
No, James Earl Jones played a very convincing evil dictator from Africa who was in the hospital.
Did he play Edie Vidi?
Idi Amin. They were trying to kind of, I don't know who they were trying to portray him as, maybe him or Robert Mugabe.
Anyway.
But then there's season 2, episode 2, which all House fans skip if they're House fans.
Okay.
Because nobody wants to watch Dr. Chase kiss a little girl.
On the mouth?
Correct.
Oh, pass.
It's tough.
A bumper. A woman in the... Anything else on Don't Look Back in Anger?
I'm mad.
A woman in the... That John Belushi's gone?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Honestly, like... Fuck, John Belushi. I know it's a disease. I know you can't help what you did to yourself at a point. But fuck, dude, you should have been around for 50 more years.
Yeah, you and Chris.
A woman in the crowd's middle name is Trouble.
I knew that when she walked in.
And now...
Andy Kaufman. Andy Kaufman comes to the stage and commits to reading The Great Gatsby in its entirety, to the dismay of the audience.
So I saw this book. It was lying just a little while ago. I saw it lying around, and it reminded me of when I was in school, and this literature teacher gave me this book, told me to read it, said it was the greatest American novel ever written. And I take issue with that. I don't believe that it is. But what I'd like to do tonight is I'd like to read it to you, and then perhaps you could point out some subtleties I might have missed in case, if they have time to follow for discussion. So anyway, it's called The Great Gatsby. It's by F. Scott Fitzgerald, and here it is. Chapter 1. In my younger and more vulnerable years, my father gave me some advice that I've been turning over in my mind ever since. Whenever you feel like criticizing anyone, he told me, just remember that all the people in this world haven't had the advantages that you've had. He didn't say any more, but we've always been unusually communicative in a reserved way. And I understood that he meant a great deal more than that.
This is so
awesome.
This is so Andy Kaufman. This is so unbelievably Andy Kaufman.
I took the most notes on this out of anything in this episode. This is so... If you love Andy Kaufman,
this is so funny,
and love that he loves to make people squirm and feel uncomfortable, this might be the best. He has people. I'm sure there's got to be some plants in here.
Yeah, there's someone in the audience who's actually dying. Like they just sound annoying and awful.
There's someone, some of the stuff like play the record. I feel like there's people who are told to say these things.
Yeah.
But there's got to be some genuine booze in this crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also genuine laughter at the same time. And a comedian that can elicit booze and hysterical laughter at the same time.
Awesome.
Legendary.
The question isn't, is it funny? The question is, how far will he take this? This is one of those type of Kaufman
Pretty
bits
far.
Where it's not like, it's not even a question of, is this going to be funny, or what's the joke, or is this like, how far is he going to how much of your time is he going to waste?
And there's a couple of times when he gets you too. He gets you a couple times, even all these years later watching it, when he's like, okay, I'm done. But first the book.
Yep.
That is so funny. He comes out, he plays a little bit of music on a record like twice. He like starts it, then stops it, then starts it again, then stops it. No idea why. If anything, maybe that's him planting the seed for later, that the record has music on it, not speaking.
Well, but it's also like the reference to the things he's done before on the show, where that's where he wants the audience's expectation to go where it used to be, not where it's supposed to be.
Okay. Yeah. And he all over this, like the parts of Great Gatsby that he chooses to repeat and come back on, genius callbacks.
Yeah.
When he gets flustered, he like returns to a phrase he's already read a couple of times before catching back up with where he is in the book. It's so calculated and so funny. In the beginning when he comes out and he's like, so they trust me in his British accent.
Yep.
Because he's going to be the real him.
Not really even British so much as it's just refined.
Like a posh,
yeah,
like a more like proper Andy Kaufman.
But it's kind of funny.
Then I thought, well, you know, before I've been on the show, I've done characters, you know, like the little foreign man, foreign immigrant. He goes, thank you very much, I'm very happy to be here. You know, and then I've done this American character. So I go, hi, I'm Andy, and hello, how are you? Oh, the cow goes, moo, you know. And I thought instead of doing that, why don't I just come out and be straight with you and just be myself? So that's what... So anyway, then I thought, well, what should I do? What should I do? I was at a loss for what to do, to fill up the time.
What should I do?
Oh my God.
What to do? And the way that he builds up to the reveal of The Great Gatsby of like, I want to talk about this book. Professor told me it was the best book ever. I don't agree. So I'm going to read the whole thing to you. And if there's time afterwards, we'll talk about it.
The subtleties that I might be missing.
And things like, did he think he was going to have, did this Andy think he was going to have 20, like the whole book would get read in 25 minutes?
We only have so much time. We're pressed for time, he said. This is just such a great bit.
And then he starts reading and the audience immediately starts like coughing and heckling to like make noise.
They don't like it.
There are moments, and Andy is so in the bit whenever he does a bit. There are moments when I feel like I see the glint in his eye because they're booing him.
And he loves it.
And he's like, yes, this is working exactly how I needed it to. And that's really fun. He keeps returning to the only Gatsby, the man who gives his name to this book line, which was really fun and funny. And then, when he's like, when he gets pissed, he's like, all right, now look. Do you want the book? I'll just stop. Do you want me to not read the book?
Fine. We'll go to the record. But first, the book.
There's a weird part when he gets mad and he does the spare the rod, spoil the child line.
Spare
Says,
the rod,
half
spoil
an
the
hour
child.
in the woodshed would do some of you very good.
I love that line.
Now back to reading. I won't then. All right. What do you want me to do?
All right.
So I just think he's a fucking genius because it is about him wasting our time.
Yeah.
But even so, every minute, every moment, every breath that he
Completely
takes is completely calculated and funny.
And then he decides to give into the crowd and play the record, which is a record of him reading the fucking book. It's so good.
And it goes on just long enough of like the fake record rotation noise.
Yeah.
And Andy's like kind of like ready to
Like
dance
bopping
almost.
back and forth a little.
And then it starts with only Gatsby,
Only
the man
Gatsby.
whose name.
Yeah.
Lauren comes out at one point earlier to like whisper in his ear. It's like, you got to leave.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, now they're telling me to leave.
When Lauren comes out, there's a little bit of an applause too. They're like, oh, it's Lauren. They like it.
They think it's real and that Lauren is actually saving them? Or do you think it's like a moment of recognition?
Both?
Yeah. This was amazing. The crowd
awesome.
is cheering
I had so
and
much fun.
booing. I think Andy Kaufman is a genius. I love when he does the songs. I love when he does the foreign man character. I think this version of Andy Kaufman is my favorite.
This
so
is
far.
pretty great. Well, then
Only Gatsby,
we get
the man whose name.
Yeah. Then we get a live sketch. It's looking for Mr. Goodbar playset. We get to talk about this fucking movie again.
Yep.
Sex and violence are finally brought to children at home.
Finally.
In a new playset featuring characters and scenes from Looking for Mr. Goodbar. And this is, of course, a Mainway toy.
It's from Mainway.
For sure.
This is a really silly idea. Gilda is the perfect use. She's like the best playing a girl in a commercial that anybody ever did.
How do you play?
Well, take your Diane Keaton doll and go to the singles bar. Now drink 3 Tequila Sunrises. Now pick up a businessman.
Oh, hello. You're so beautiful. You want to dance? Boom, ba boom. Staying alive. Staying alive.
Hey, what are you waiting for? Take him back to your singles apartment.
This is exactly like a sketch that they did this past season. We're talking about new stuff a lot. They did the one battle after another play set.
Yep.
And I think it still works. It's always funny to have, I don't know, they make play sets off of movies. So what if they made play sets off of like Cruel Intentions or something? What if they made these very specific? And then having Gilda innocently, sheepishly as a kid play through all these scenarios, just worried about winning the game. And then at the end,
There's no game.
The teddy bear comes to save everybody. Bill as the announcer. This is something that would usually be Dan, but I think Bill does really well here.
Yeah.
His, you picked up the psychotic blonde homosexual.
Remember Bill's first episode when he was covering for John?
Okay.
He did the voice of one of these where Gilda was a kid and they were kind of interacting. Remember?
Oh, the soup man.
Exactly. Soup man. Yeah.
Creeley's soup. That's
exactly.
And it was them too. This does kind of have shades of that. I didn't make that connection.
Yep. You're welcome.
Thank you. We're bringing gratuitous sex and random violence into her little world.
It's about time.
It's from Mainway. Hey, so I thought you didn't like when grown men kiss little girls.
I don't like when Chase does it.
Okay. Any other thoughts on Looking for Mr. Goodbar playset?
I have never wanted to talk about Looking for Mr. Goodbar less.
Looking for Mr. Goodbar is now on the list of movies that we have talked about that I downloaded to my computer and will probably never get to watching.
Amazing. What's next?
Ladies and gentlemen, Art Garfunkel performs Crying in My Sleep. Our host returns to the stage to perform the song Crying in My Sleep from his 1977 album Watermark. We're going to get Garfunky one last time.
Yeah, we did.
And I woke up crying in my sleep. I was talking to your pillow, and I reached out to touch your hand. I knocked the phone off the nightstand, and the operator said, and I said, no thanks, baby, tonight there ain't no help for me. You see, I just had a bad dream. It's all that's wrong with me.
Tell me what you got on this one.
This made me want to sleep. I'm not here for the Art Garfunkel songs.
I wasn't into the song.
Yeah.
I didn't know this song. I wasn't angry at it, but I didn't know it very well. The one thing I like about this song is the weird, dreamy female vocalist who has little pop-up lines as the operator. Were you paying that close of attention to this at all?
No.
The chorus is about like... So the lyrics in this song are really stupid. And it tells a story about like having a bad dream. Even the lyric, like, I woke up crying in my sleep, like that's kind of like a weird way to say that. That's a strange lyric.
Sure.
He wakes up crying in his sleep. He knocks the phone off the line and the operator's on the line. And that's the female vocalist. And he says, and the operator says, can I help you, please? And I said, no. It's the dumbest thing ever. Leave this operator alone. Leave your bad dreams to yourself. When you notice that you've knocked your phone off the thing and the operator says, can I help you? It's time for you to hang up the phone because you've accidentally called her.
Let the
you don't
operator
pick up
do
the
her
phone and
job.
talk to them about your bad dream.
Jeez.
I think that this dude should leave the operator alone.
The cashier is smiling at you because she has to, dickhead.
Yeah.
Not because she likes you, Art Garfunkel. Go
I want to help you make a call. I don't want to help you in like your life.
Yeah.
Like, get out of there. I thought that this song had a couple of little interesting moments, but of all the songs tonight, this was the easiest skip.
Skip.
Host portrait. Art Garfunkel sits on the steps by a vase of flowers.
Because of course he does. In the goodnights, Art quickly says goodnight as he, the cast, and Stephen Bishop wave to the audience at home.
They really ran the clock down tonight.
Yeah.
They stuffed this episode with a lot of songs.
Well, we gave 25 minutes.
25 minutes of Andy Kaufman. So this is one of the quickest goodnights ever. They just wave and say good. He says, all right, good night. That's it.
This is essentially
That's the episode.
the
It's done.
Dunder Mifflin commercial, waving at the end.
What an episode, Zach. This was a mess.
It was something.
There's some really high highs. Don't Look Back in Anger might be the most memorable thing historically from the first 5 seasons. Because it's like if, I don't know, of all of these young celebrities that have died and become legends, what if they had all made a short film about being old men? Or like, it's just showing us something that you never get to see out of these horrifying stories of people dying so young. And it's so important and so special, but it's in the middle of this episode that's full of boring Art Garfunkel songs and not very many sketches, but it's still like a diamond in the middle of this kind of shitty episode.
Think about what Parks and Rec could have been if Harris Whittles hadn't left us. R.I.P.
Harris Whittles. I wish he was still around for sure.
Rest in power, King.
Closing segments.
Host thumbs fucking down. He was not even a host. He was just here to sing, and I hate when they do that.
Oh, I'll give him a sideways.
Fuck that.
I'm kidding. I'm fucking with you.
Yeah.
Art Garfunkel.
I can't believe you gave OJ a thumbs up and you're giving Art Garfunkel a thumbs down. It's awesome.
Well, Art Garfunkel probably has killed people if we think about it. He probably has murdered. It's just because I am not judging the person. I am judging what happened on this show.
Yeah, the episode.
And he couldn't act when he was trying to act, and he's barely in it when he's not doing music, which makes him not the host. He's a musical guest.
He didn't come to play with the cast. He came to be the musical guest.
Stephen Bishop is in almost as many sketches as the host Art Garfunkel is. It is a thumbs down.
It's a thumbs down. And the musical guest for me is also a down.
For both of them?
Yeah, for both, because we have essentially two musical guests. I mean, I thought Stephen Bishop's song was better than any of our Garfunkels, but I just didn't like any of it. It was whatever.
See, and on this, I'm not kidding. Stephen Bishop was a thumbs up for me. That song really grew on me. Art Garfunkel is a thumb sideways for me because I do like All I Know, and I do like Scarborough Fair, but you can't deny that like there was too much of it. And he's not the same without his partner in harmony with him. But he can perform. I'll give it a sideways. Best sketch of the night?
The cold open.
Well, I'm going to break the rule we broke in a couple of times.
Oh, no.
It doesn't
You
matter.
going pre-taping?
I don't think... Like, how can
How can you not pick it? I guess.
The cold open and Tomorrow and the Nerds, those are all like an honorable mention fluctuation.
Yeah, Looks at Books is an honorable mention to me for sure.
Don't Look Back in Anger is just special.
It's just crazy. Yeah.
It's just special.
I can see why you... I'll let you break this rule on your own podcast. That's fine.
Our own podcast. Hey.
It's communist.
Hey.
Did you hear that,
podcast.
Emma? Did you hear that?
Who's Emma? From here? Communist. Oh, this is our podcast.
Right.
You haven't told that story on the podcast.
Zach got busted once because a
Not really.
coworker that I was meeting for the first time, I told her that I had just come from recording one of the episodes with Zach, and she said, "You got to go on Zach's podcast?" And I was like, "Oh my God, what has this son of a bitch been telling everybody?"
Hey, and watch it because it is a weekly invitation that could be taken away at any time.
Okay, I'll change the hoodie.
There's a long line of people that want to recap 50 years of sketch comedy with me. You better watch yourself.
I bet.
Who's the not ready for primetime player MVP?
There's no question here. It's Belushi.
Yeah, it's Belushi. Gilda has a good night.
Yeah, she does.
And she's been having some good nights lately. She's great.
She's been in a flow state.
She's
lately.
got such good characters. John Belushi has had a good couple weeks as well.
Yeah.
And it's not just Don't Look Back in Anger. It's
he
also
had a
the
big
Kiss
episode.
sketch.
And he did the whole monologue
Yeah.
himself. And yeah, like he had a nice night.
The show tonight kind of chose to lean on him when they couldn't depend on their host. And
For sure.
he did a good job. What are we going to rate this thing?
5.5.
This one's really hard for me because Don't Look Back in Anger is so good.
So you
The
did get
Nerds are
pushed
so
up.
good. And Andy Kaufman is so good.
Mm-hmm.
But there is also like a long stretch that's just music that I don't love. There are a couple of sketches that don't. I wrote down 6.3.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to stick with it.
Okay.
Because the couple of things that are good are better than good stuff in other episodes.
I can't believe that you're treating Jerry Aldini like this.
I'll never work in this town again. 6.3. You said what? 5.5?
5.5.
Well, next week,
Yeah, she's back.
actress Jill Clayburgh-Baugh returns to host the show with musical guest Eddie Money in an episode that originally aired on March 18th, 1978.
Hey.
Eddie Money, I know the name. I don't know if I know the music.
Do you have 2 tickets to Paradise?
Oh, I better pack my bags.
I'm pretty sure that that's Eddie Money.
Okay, got it. Well, Zach Hall,
Yeah.
we've done it. Another episode.
In the
Even
books.
when it's not a good one, we always find fun things to talk about and
Sometimes they're
avenues to
better.
go down.
Sometimes they're better podcasts when they're bad episodes.
Yeah. I love rooting for the team when they have a good week, and I love shit talking the team when they have a bad week. That's okay. I want to thank Game Show Battle Rooms for bringing me so much joy the last couple of years of my life. And
Live from the Game Show Battle Room Studios.
dude, 3 years ago, I was struggling. And then 2 years ago, I found this job. And not that I was ever not creative, but finally, the stuff that makes me who I am, I was able to tap into as a talent and be good at something in a way that I've never been before. It fucking led me to you, which led me to this show. And now we get to do it here in a space that feels like home.
I
Like,
introduced Zach to Saturday Night Live.
very, very cool. Yeah, we met and he was like, have you ever heard of this show? It's been on for a long time.
He hadn't. Which
I
didn't surprise me.
Thank Four Finger Discount.
Finger discount.
What started as a podcast that I listen to every week. Now they put their name on our own podcast every week, and that's very special.
It's very awesome.
I want to shout Zach Hall out because I like that guy and I enjoy seeing him across from me once a week.
He's an asshole.
I want to shout out, I will agree with that. I want to shout out Lil Shaker.
Lil Shaker.
Also an asshole.
Yep.
But one that I love very dearly.
We all need one in our life.
What about you? Who you got? Some shout outs.
Also, Game Show Battle Rooms for sure. Tyler Dondras, thank you for hiring me. And
We'll always remember you.
You're going to take over this whole company, bud. But also, yeah, Jenna and my doggies. Little baby had an oncology appointment this week. She's very popular at the vet. Everyone knows her.
It's probably not a good thing, right?
She's very memorable.
Like frequent flyer.
She's super memorable.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because she's like a gray pit bull and they probably see 1,000 of those.
Yeah.
But whatever. Have a good time with it. So, yeah.
Have a good time with it indeed.
And I'd like to thank whoever made this Nerf gun because I'm going to shoot Zach one more time. Oh, got him again.
I would like to shout out our social media at Sat Night Dive Pod. If you want to follow us, I would like to shout out our email, which is Saturday
Night Dive Pod at gmail.com.
If you want to email us questions, comments, concerns, icebreakers, death threats, all of that.
Yeah.
And
corrections.
Zach
We get
Hall.
correction corner because apparently Shaka Khan did I'm Every Woman before Whitney Houston, which makes sense to me. I wouldn't have known that.
And I don't know why I went to one and not the other, but it's always nice when... Did you just break something?
Yeah, I did.
It'll screw back on. That's okay. We're almost done.
Cool.
It's always nice when there's a moment where we get to both be wrong and right at the same time. That's always special. Zach's breaking stuff, so we better close this thing out. Zach Hall, the final words of the podcast. Let's hear him.
Only Gatsby, the man who lends his name to this book, was exempt from my reaction.